What's up, Chatroomies? This is DJ saying you are watching Chatroom 101. Let's get it. Chatroomies, wagwan. This is DJ Saint. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for watching our podcast there. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for commenting, liking. Thank you for the love you always show us. If you know anyone who has not subscribed, manze, it's free of charge. So make sure you tell them, share this link, tell them to come and watch amazing content that we have only here on Chatroom 101. I'm telling you today I'm hanging out with an amazing guest, beautiful queen all the way from Mulima. I call her Doctor. Without wasting your time and my time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas, wadau na wadaudes, please help me welcome Dr. Besh. What's up, Besh?
What's up?
How you doing?
Niko poa, how are you?
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
I know ulituzimia White, ukatuzimia social media, ukatuzimia
Nilikuwa nataka mtafute kwa logbook. Hapo I think ndo nilikuwa
uliturudisha analog.
Social media has been too much. Saa zingine it's good to go back to the roots, you know, pale tulianzia.
Yeah. Maze, welcome back.
Thank you.
We've been asking for you. Tunasikia ako Hong Kong, ako Kenya, sijui ako Shanghai. Hey, you've been traveling.
I have been traveling. I am thankful, but nimerudi. Nimerudi nyumbani for now.
We are happy you're here on Chatroom 101.
Yes.
We want to have a sit down with you. We just chat.
Yes.
So you go there, we relax, we enjoy life.
Yes. It's easy, you know.
It's easy.
So asamanga easy like Sunday morning.
There you go.
It's ni jioni lakini bado ni Sunday.
Hey, tujibambe tu.
Tujibambe.
So introduce yourself for my viewers.
For the viewers, and thank you Saint for having me.
No
Najua
problem.
ulikuwa umenitafuta, but I'm humbled for the opportunity to be here and to sit alongside you and your great creation.
Thank
you know, to have this chat. You've been doing amazing things.
Thank you.
So niko hapa and mimi naitwa Besh. Like my name is Besh Gichui and I should say Gichui is my dad. Unajua mimi ni Mkikuyu. Tukijiintroduce
unaweza fungia blessings.
Taki kufungia blessings is good to, you know, emphasize
who that is
and clarify.
That's true.
So in Kikuyu tukijiintroduce nye jetawo Besh wa Gishuhe na Gishuhe ni Fafati Muthuri.
Okay. Kogu hatire muthuri.
Hatire muthuri yet.
Nice.
But in my other names I go by Dr. Besh for my profession, but Besh is easy. I respond to any.
Thank you so much for availing yourself. You know, they say doctors are very busy. Doctors are very busy. So you finding time to hang out with us, we don't take it for granted. So we would like to know your story. We'd like to know why you decided to become a doctor. And I'm like, why not become a banker or a teller?
The math
is not mathing.
The math was not mathing at some time, but we
So you're like, wacha tupotele kwa doctor. Lakini medicine venye nasikiaga ni ngumu.
But the line that I
took. Chopi. That's why.
Apana sikuwa. I think nilikuwa chopi after nimekuja.
GPA 4 point?
For my doctorate, I graduated with a 4.0 GPA.
You need chopi 4 points. 4 points.
Yeah.
So we'd like to know where you grew up. We'd like to know your journey. But even before we start that, how was your week?
My week was great. It was hapakule too, the usual of the week. Nothing major happened, but it was great.
Mentally,
up and down.
From 1 to 10, how is it?
Probably today is a solid 9 because it's Sunday is a very good day.
Yeah.
During the week, tulikuwa hapo 6, 7. You know, but you know life, you know.
Na COVID time ilikuwa.
Hey. Well, imenirudisha mbali, but you know, God is good.
You know the reason nimesema hivyo because at that time doctors and nurses were heroes. You know, now I don't know you guys are heroes or I think you are zeros. We are not seeing you being praised anymore.
I mean, vidu vichenjanga. So so kutaka kwetu is just
Yes.
you know
The system.
pale imetufikisha
Yeah,
but we're
yeah.
here. But with COVID saa zingine nilikuwa najipata too. There was so much weight on my shoulders with the work that I was doing.
I can imagine.
You know, God, we survived and we managed to help a lot of people.
That's true.
My community, I'm thankful for that
Yeah.
I was a voice for the community here. So yeah, hata kama ilikuwa saa zingine nafika 1 and I'm like ni mimi bado naamka kesho ama kuna mtu mwingine anachukulilia hii shift.
Yeah.
You know, you remember why you do it in the first time and unapata tu motisha kuendelea.
Kweli. So where were you born and raised?
Mimi nimezaliwa Gatundu.
Okay, Gatundu massive.
Gatundu massive. I think sahi ko under Thika district. Guy, my parents I think nikizaliwa ilikuwa Kiambu district ama still Kiambu. Aki watu wa Gatundu msinidizoni
I think bado iko huko. I think bado iko Kiambu. I think wamejoin Theka.
Theka. I think there's something like that. Aki msinidizoni but yeah.
Wewe bado ni mtu wa mlima.
Mimi yes.
Kwanza by the way Uhuru is from there, right?
Yes, Uhuru ni wa neighbor shamba yao hapo hivyo.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
kwa hivyo nyinyi na Broadway.
River na then kwa Mama Ngina.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, so your neighborhood na hapo hivyo.
Okay. How was it being raised there? Growing
up in Gatundu it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my childhood was a very easy childhood. You know, mimi nilikuwa mtoto mzuri.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Haukuwa mtoto wa kutembea hapa na pale.
Everybody goes through those phases where you're rebellious you know unataka ku challenge authority, especially you know high school and everything. But yeah, primary nilianza na ilikuwa inaitwa Happy Times.
Okay.
Happy Times. And then transfer nikaenda Gatundu Primary.
Okay.
And then uko ndo nilimalizia class 8 Gatundu
high
Primary.
school?
High school nilienda Kabare Girls.
Okay.
Shout out to Kabare Girls. It's now a national school. Ilikuwa provincial. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What ukiwa high school ulikuwa unafikiri utakuwa? That's what they used to ask us when you grow up. What
Was
the doctorate in you?
No, it was not even knocking. Unajua ile hata haikuwa inabisha. Haikuwa inabisha. I think when I was in my teens, I really wanted to be a flight attendant.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I love traveling. I don't know. But I really, for some reason, I thought I was going to be a flight attendant.
Okay.
Yeah, different worlds.
Oh my goodness. But you fit to be a flight attendant actually.
Maybe, you know, in my next life. Nikiretire hapa.
Utoke daktari uende flight attendant.
I mean, retirement. Vitu vichenjanga.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, yeah, I don't know why, but I thought I was going to be a flight attendant. So
interesting. And then from there you went to college?
No, so I left Kenya right after high school.
Oh, for real?
Yes. Results vile zilitokea. Hey, sitasema nilifanya high school.
Ni sawa tu.
Which year? Where? I will age myself.
Director wangu alipata diplomat. Lakini God akambless na B for blessings.
Yes. Yeah, so vile results zilitoka, I came to the US.
Okay.
Yes, so all my college education has been here.
Do you remember your culture shock from Gatondo to States?
Nireke goire.
Jera nama.
Let me tell you mine now. Let me tell you things. Hey. So picture this. Where I came from Gatundu. I mean Kenya, Nairobi, Thika. So you've traveled kidogo in Kenya. But it still doesn't prepare you for what you're going to see.
Yes.
So nimeland wapi? Nebraska.
Ooh, guy. Nebraska.
Nimeland Nebraska.
Wait.
When? December.
Snow time.
What's the weather? Snow. Sijui ilikuwa like 10 inches of snow. On the ground. Maybe do I even know what snow is? I mean, I knew what snow is, but have I ever seen snow?
No.
Do I know how you're supposed to function in the snow?
No.
Like, nikuwa mpaka nauliza my bro. So like, mtu tembea, like how... I don't know how this works. Like, it's on the ground. Nafaa kutembea, like, what do tembea in this? How is this supposed to work? So wefika huko, ile baridi na kugonga.
I can imagine.
Sijui, at that time, they were like negative something degrees.
Negative.
So umetoka Kenya. December Kenya ni summer.
Yes.
So mimi nguo zenye nimekuja nazo.
Ni za summer. Where?
Si nimetoka Kenya.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, two of my brothers were already here by then. So alikuwa ameni-prepare like, kuna baridi and then ninunue jacket, sweaters, hivi. So I was kind of prepared.
Oh.
But ni pale unavaa nguo zenye zote ziko kwa suitcase na bado baridi inapita tu.
Inakupiga. Mwanzo hiyo baridi yenyewe negative. Jeez.
So that was a culture shock. So I came, I think 3 or so weeks before I had to start school. Shule ilikuwa inaanza January. So nimefika kitu like December 8th. So I can nizoe, you know, see how the neighborhood is, go to school, nimaliza registration and everything. And, you know, went to school to maliza filling out the forms in school. So that was another culture shock. Unakuta ni shule ni ya wazungu.
You're the only black.
The only black. But then at that point,
Kizungu.
Hey. Bado ilikuwa ile ya kugeria, you know. Not turageria. But then not even that is like unajaza the form like sasa ndo wakupe student ID. And then I had to check what my race is. I'm like,
yes, what's race? Yeah.
Nimetoka Kenya. Nobody ever asked me this. And I'm like, black, white, Hispanic, non-Hispanic. So kuna mpaka race na ethnicity. I'm like, hey. So I was like, okay, I guess black. But I don't tick because I'm like,
yes.
So that was the first introduction to this whole race thing because I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's standard here. This is something I've never encountered. So, yeah. So then shule, ikaanza nikajikuta class ni mimi. It's just me.
The black only.
Hata sasa nasiwa huku.
Yes.
From Africa.
Kwanza tunashindwa, how did you survive to pay for this class?
I know. How did you even get here?
Yes.
And then there was like, I think the second semester, there's another girl who joined, but alikuwa mixed.
Okay.
Like, black wa huku na mzungu, but she was very light, so you could hardly tell. Unless akwambia how, you know, they identify, then you couldn't tell. So like tukwa wili, but I was always very... Ni mimi. Like hata ninge hata class. Mwalimu anajua tu kuna Besh hayuko class leo. Kuna mtu hakukuja class leo.
Yes.
Like hata singe skip class when I wanted to. Like, watajua huyu kuna mtu hakukuja class. So it was a very... And so I'm like, right after high school. And this is the first thing I'm coming into.
Wow.
As much as ungetaka kuprepare, that's something you just have to go through by yourself.
True.
No matter what information umepewa and everything, it's like everybody endures things differently. You go through things differently. So it was one of those things I was like, okay.
How was your mental state at that time?
I think I was still trying to figure out what it all means and the impact to me or to the community. I think ilikuwa bado najaribu kufigure out why is it such a big deal. Like, me, see, I'm human. Nimekuja shule. Mbona there's this, like, you're the only black girl in school. Why are we focusing?
Yes.
Mbona is such a big thing. Ina-play part gani. Nimeacceptwa shule. Mimi niko hapa. Tusome. Tuendelee. And then it wasn't, you know, as you take classes and then you open up, like, the news and you get, you know, the media. Then you start seeing, then you learn the history. You're like, okay, now I see why this is such a huge deal, you know? Yeah. Then, of course, there was ignorance, unfortunately.
Yes.
And people like, even in their ignorance, they're curious.
Yes.
But they don't know how to ask the question. So it leans more on the ignorant side. Because, you know, napata mtu alikuwa anakuuliza. So, like, you know, and it happened. Like, I'm not advertising stories, ajabu or anything. It's like, so like, mnaishi on house trees because naona kwa news, like, you know, you guys don't have houses or things like that. And, you know, so I ended up actually making a joke out of it because I was like, I can't believe this is what, 2012, 2013? And you're still, like, hapa ndipo tuko. Like, and there's the internet, but
I
you
know.
still asking because
These
maybe
kind of
umeona too
questions.
just one side of things from the media, what they've concentrated on.
Yes.
So I actually, told my class and nikienda shule, because I used to walk to school, primary school.
Okay.
So nilimwambia, when I used to walk to school, tulikuwa tunapitana na lions kwa barabara nikienda shule. So
You know, there's this guy. I think watu wa Nakuru munajijua meno venye zinakuaga. Watu wa Nakuru wanajijua meno ziko brown. So I had a friend at work, right? So beshte mmoja yake Hawaii akamuuliza, "Mazee, mbona meno zako ziko brown, bro? Na za huyu si brown." You know, the guy was like, "Oh, when you are from the young age, we drink blood. That's why they are brown." Do you know what I'm saying? Hakuwahi karibia huo boy ever again.
alikuwa na kuna venye
Huyu mtu anakunywa damu yangu huyu. He got
one
scared
point.
actually. To a point he's asking me, "Is it true?" Nakaona lazima ni join my brother. Yeah, this tribe, they drink blood.
Stay away.
Stay away so that they can be strong. So it's funny umesema hivyo and I'm sure they believed.
They did believe it. And I ran with that story up until graduation.
Uh-huh.
And at my graduation, unajua unaambiwa uandike like 3 lines at that point, like what you want read as you walk. This is for my BSN. I think we're doing this backwards. Hata si kwanza. Anyways. So like that was for my undergraduate graduation. So it was like, I want to thank my parents, my community, God, those 3 lines. And then at the end of it, I want to thank my pet lion who used to walk me to sleep.
You actually said...
I put it on there and they read
Christ.
it. And my family was dying. They were like, what is wrong with her? Why would you
write that?
So
what was the reaction of the teachers and
because
students?
They just like, I think some people were surprised. They were like, she has a pet lion?
Yeah.
And people were like, huh?
Yeah.
And then my class was like, oh, she has a pet lion that used to walk her to school.
Oh
so,
my God.
Ilibidi tu niambie my family was like, I just had to run with this because nilichoka kuexplain vitu zingine. So I was like, you know what? Sasa.
Wow. Boyfriend wa Kenya huku mwambia utamkujia ukimaliza shule.
Sasa mbona What? Hiyo imeenda from 0 to 300.
Unajua hakuwezi kosa boyfriend pale high school na college. Ukamwambia nikirudi akinipatie only 3 years.
Nikimaliza shule
mimi nakukujia. Kwanza nakuita ukuje.
Hey.
Yeah?
My friend.
Yes.
Hey. Says what jina ya character development.
Yeah.
It hadn't been coined, but what?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yes. So ulimwacha tu.
Life.
Besh hukufanya poa man. Yaani uliacha mtoto wenyewe akuliwe na vumbi tu huko Gatodo.
It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Unajua tu life vitu tu
zinaendaga tu
zilienda lakini tulikuwa na hiyo period ya tulikuwa
ulimtumiaga kapicha. I'm sure all time there was internet was not fully functioning like today, right?
No, not like sai every kila mtu ako na
simu.
simu.
Remember those times?
Sasa tulikuwa napiga simu na scratch card.
Yeah.
Scratch card na unapiga na nyumbani.
Upiga simu, yeah. So ulikuwa unazipiga?
We.
Yeah, nikoria.
Nikoria gani kukuandira kweli?
Ilisia wapi?
It's okay.
Yeah.
God is good. Wacha tuseme.
So you come to state Nebraska. Umeanza kuadapt weather. How did you find yourself in Seattle?
So wacha turudi pale. So Nebraska nimekaa about 7 years or so. So Nebraska shule nikaingia. So remember, I just came from Kenya and I graduated high school. I don't know what I want to do, but because my brothers were here, my parents were like, this is an opportunity. Follow, go, study.
Yes.
So mi nikijaza paperwork ya shule nilikuwa nimejaza kufanya business because my 2 elder brothers are in the business accounting line.
Okay.
And IT now. So me nijaza tu the same business.
Yes.
And nikaingia shule na nikaanza kufanya business. You know, just as ile unakwambianga, I think the universe has a way of showing you
this is not you.
This is not you.
Yes.
Ushaanguka class ya introduction to microeconomics. So na hiyo ni class ya 101.
101? Yeah. You had to call yourself for a meeting.
So ilibidi nijite kamkutano. I was like, where? Hapa hakuendi vizuri.
Yes.
So ilibidi I had to retake the class juu ya transcripts ni nini.
Yes,
So nikafanya class. But then nikasema biology. I was like, I think I love sciences. So nikaenda nikachange major.
Okay.
Nikasema biology. Okay. Na tukaanza kufanya biology. I did biology for like about a year. Like almost 1.5 years of biology.
Yeah.
But then, nikajita kamkutano tena. Nikajiuliza, and this is purely because of lack of information, you know?
Okay, yes.
Because me at that point, I pictured, nisa nikigraduate na degree of biology, I'm a biologist. And at that point, all I could think of, a biologist is wanakwanga, like in a lab somewhere in the basement.
Yes.
Under a microscope. And that's all they do.
Yeah.
But I say that was how many years ago? And that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay.
So I was like, sasa mimi na basement na place kuna giza. Haiwezi make.
Yes.
So actually I took a semester off.
Okay.
Because I was like...
For how long?
Sasa ilikuwa semester, so it was 3 months.
Okay.
So kuzinienda kwa advisor, akaniambia, sasa itabidi wewe mwenyewe, because you've been doing things wenye umeambiwa ama mtu amekusuggestia, but you need to take a moment and figure out who's Besh.
Yes.
Like, what is Besh interested in? Like, unajionanga ukifanya nini? So I took a semester off to try to figure out.
Yeah.
And then she gave me some really good advice. I could like, you can ask people who know you what they see you as, and also ask like strangers. People that you work with, they know you, but they don't like really know you.
Yes.
But use that as a guide. Like usifanya ati, Saint niwiza Saint akaniambia, naweza kuwa kule forex trading asubuhi na mapema.
Kwanza wewe unaweza fit hapo. Unajua uko na macho ile. Unaona kakidrop.
Nasema, it's time to do this.
Yes.
So ako like, usitake kenya mtu anakuambia, just take it with a grain of salt. But you need to figure out.
Yes.
Wewe unataka kufanya nini. So at that point, nilikuwa nafanya job, customer service, and as a CNA as well.
Okay.
So I knew I wanted to help people. That was in me. Like I really wanted to help people, but I couldn't figure out how to actually make that into like a professional or career.
Yes.
So when I went back before the 3 months, because then I had to register for school again. So nikaenda kwa advisor. I could like, have you thought about nursing? I was like, nursing? I was like, no. So she walked me through it. But then at the school I was, hawako na program ya nursing.
Okay.
So I could like, but you can take classes in a community college and then apply to the nursing schools that we have here in Nebraska.
Yes.
So I went and I thought about it and I was like, napenda kusaidia watu. It's in the hospital. So why not give it a try? I've been nimejaribu degrees zingine mbili. So
Zimekata.
Zimegonga mawe. So let's just see. So and I started taking the prerequisites at a community college. Like I started enjoying it and I was like, okay. Because then nilikuwa nafanya job as a CNA. So I could relate. I'm like, okay, this is kuna aspects na naelewa.
Yes.
So then I applied for nursing school. And then I got accepted and I was like, okay, things are lining up. So maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. So nikaanza nursing school. And actually, that's when I realized I found my calling is in the healthcare field.
Awesome.
Because when I was doing nursing, everything seemed to align. Like, and I'm like, and I don't want to say it was easy because nursing is a challenge. And I was a full-time student and I worked full-time.
Okay.
I've worked full-time all through my 3 degrees.
Damn.
I've been a full-time student. And I've worked a full-time working throughout all my 3 degrees. So I don't want to say it was easy, but because it was something I enjoyed, like it really aligned.
Zili aligned too.
Then I found my calling. And then during one of the tukifanya rotation, tukafanya rotation ya community health.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's a whole different world out here other than nursing and nimekuwa nikijua like in the hospital, which is in the community because we used to go do health fairs. The school that I went to, they had a mobile van. So we would take the van and go to like the Indian reservation, go to like shelters for people experiencing homelessness and, offer, services. And I was like, there's a whole population out here that doesn't come to the hospital, but they still need care.
Yes.
So then that was a light bulb moment for me. And I was like, I would like to learn more about this. So Rudi kwa advisor, I'm like, what's this community public health thing? So then she introduced me to it. And then in my last year of nursing, you could take elective classes. So nikafanya classes mbili za public health. And I was like, my goodness, this is very interesting. It was something new, but I was gravitating towards it. So now nika graduate na BSN, na nikafanya NCLEX. And then that's when I moved after graduating NCLEX. Ndo nikuja Seattle. Came to Seattle in 2012.
Okay.
So I didn't work at all as a nurse in Nebraska. I graduated, took the exam, came to Seattle. Because by that time my parents were here.
Yeah.
So came here, huku ndo nilianza my nursing career in the hospital. Well, 6 months first I did it in a nursing home because then I was still new to Seattle, so trying to figure out grounding ya huku. And then I worked at multi-care, Tacoma, on a tele PCU step-down unit. And I went to Harborview. I know everybody. Harborview, I think, as challenging as it was,
even now I think is.
Yes, as challenging as it is, I think it was one of my best times when I was doing clinical nursing.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why?
I think because I found I grew more. So nitoka Tacoma, I was on a like med-surg unit.
Yeah.
Tacoma, the way it was set up, there's so many things you couldn't do as a nurse because they had another nurse to come do it. Like there's some wounds we couldn't dress because they had the wound care team.
Okay.
Then there was some patients like maybe work on a chest tubes and maybe 3 or 4, 5 drains. We couldn't. We had a resource nurse to come do those. So kuna vitu, yes, niko nurse nafanya. Then nikaenda Harborview.
Yes.
Harborview, I went to a trauma surgical unit. Hey, nena nakuta patients wako huko ni wale wanakwanga ICU Tacoma. I'm like, na huku niko nimejileta. Angalia patient nauliza nurse, huyu uko sure anafaa kwa hii floor? Because kuna chest tubes kane, kuna trach, kuna drains zingine kama. I'm like, niko sure na anafaa kwa hii floor ama ni mistake anafaa kwa huku juu. Ako like no. And huku it was about primary nursing, so you do everything. Even though we had CNAs, you as a nurse, no one anafanya everything. So I learned so much of things that I was afraid to do. Ama like nikuwa Tacoma because there was somebody else to do it.
Okay.
But huku then I had to learn how to do it. And then we were Harborview is a level trauma 1 hospital. So inachukwanga traumas from 5 states.
Yes.
And they accept anybody and anybody that walks in through those doors regardless. So
come on in.
Kwa unit ungejipata na mtu amepata gunshot wound or accident or somebody who has a mixture of alikuwa accident, they're going through withdrawals, like wako tu up and down, and you have to manage that. So that's why I said it was very challenging, comparing the two. But then I grew so much in my nursing. Okay. Like, so if I would have stayed in clinical nursing, I probably would have progressed to actual trauma ICU or something like that, because I was like, okay, I could do this. Okay. So yeah.
Man, that's a journey right there. So I want to take you back. While you're doing all this, what are your parents saying?
So my parents have been very supportive.
Okay.
I mean, hapo penye nilichukua 1 semester off, I had to find myself. And saa zingine, you, as much as you want to be like your respect for your parents and everything. But I realized mimi ndo nikifanya hii business mimi ndo nitasukumana nayo whether I like it or not.
Yes.
You know. And so, you know, at that time, my parents hawakuwa wamekuja, but it was my big brother. So, ilibidi tu nimwambie, kuna venye, like, I don't think biology and business zinaandamana. So, I needed to actually find myself. And when I found my calling, I think they saw it and they were like, okay, you found your path.
Yeah.
And they've been very supportive. Even, like, Nikki graduate BSN, yata sijafanya master's bado.
Yeah.
I remember during my reception, nikasema, and I'm going to be Dr. Besh. I don't know how, I don't know when, but najua I'll have the doctor title after my name.
Yes.
And after that graduation, my dad in faith, he started calling me Dr. Besh. Sikuwa hata najua itatoka wapi ama nitafikia wapi.
Yes.
But because I said it, and I proclaimed it, and he took it, and in faith, he started calling me Dr. Besh from that moment. So,
he's the proudest dad right now.
Yes, I hope I'm still making him proud.
Oh, he is. I'm sure, you know, especially our parents, when they go for meetings, they're like, oh, yes, and my daughter, she's a doctor. So there is something about parents, right? There are some young people in our community that they want to do a different career, but their parents want them to go to nursing or become a doctor because there is money. What advice can you tell those parents who are forcing their kids to do something that they don't want to do? They want to do a different thing, but the parents have pushed them. And then in nursing na doctor, hiyo iko na pesa. Tulikuja huku kutafuta.
You know, umesema mkakumbuka leo preaching ya leo was about languages and how, you know, it was more about generational differences, you know, because even the youth, ama Gen Z wale wako huku, they're going through the same where they feel like the parents don't understand them because they've been thrown into a world of they're Kenyan, they're American, trying to find the intersection. And so I say that to say, like, you know, if there's a parent out there who amesema mimi utakuwa daktari.
Yes.
Kwa mtoto anakuambia mimi hata nataka kwenda kufanya mechanics huko.
Mimi nataka kuanza YouTube kama DJ Saint.
Nataka kuanza YouTube channel kama DJ Saint.
Yeah.
I would say support them. I would say sit down and have a conversation.
Yes.
And understand where it's coming from. Ojo kuna saa mtu anaweza sema nataka kufanya content, but is it a hobby? Or is this where your true passion lies?
Yes.
Because then you need to distinguish between the two.
Yes.
So I would say have a conversation.
Yes.
Like be open-minded because it's 2025.
Yes.
And I know even at a prior generations of parents, even though walikuwa mwana kwa my child, daktari, engineer, lawyer, sitaki kusikia vitu zingine. Hizo below that. We're not having this conversation.
Yes.
But I would say because times have changed.
Yes.
Sit down with your child, msikize, and help them, you know, have that understanding. Like, kama ni hobby, then msupport, but umwambie, because this is a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Nini ingine inakupea motisha, inakupea drive that you can still do, and then you can still do this on the side.
Yeah.
But kama iyo ndo iko kwa damu yake inafanyanga achemke akiamka asubuhi, give them all the support. Mbaie mic ya kwanza.
Yes. Acheze kama yeye.
Yeah. Hata kama anataka kukuwa DJ, go find, even if it's a used equipment, mweke hapo.
Yeah.
Let them start. Because the thing is, if that's not who they are, ama that's not in their inner core, hata wao they'll realize it. Kuliko kushinda nikikwambia, Saint, mimi mambo ya DJ staki.
Yes.
Mimi mambo ya DJ staki. But mpatie your chance. Mbaie.
Believe in them.
Believe in them.
Yeah.
Give them that opportunity. And then see where it leads them. Because I'm a firm believer on, you know, the universe and God.
Yes.
You know, mtu kuna kitu Mungu amekuwekea talanta yako. And until you actually figure it out, it might still be hidden.
Yes.
And those are some of the things that maybe wewe unajaribu kuambia mtoto wako, mimi nataka uende med school. Nataka kuambia mimi nataka kwenda huko kucheza na waya, kutuanisha gari nijue zinafanya nini huko chini.
Yeah,
Support them in that.
Yeah.
Because they could be the next top mechanic, or unamwona huko ni anatengeneza hizi gari za
ama wakuwa Elon Musk.
I know.
You know?
Huwezi jua anaweza kuwa ndo ana generate the next. Sasa hii tuko na gari za stima, sijui the next ones zitakuwa za nini, but
China wameanza kutoa zina fly.
Sasa unaweza kuwa ni hata leta ya kwanza huku.
I know, man.
So
just believe in them. Yeah. Hiyo ni nice. How many are you guys at home?
5 kids. I have one sister and 3 brothers. One of my brothers is in heaven. But yes.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Kwa hivyo mzee alikuwa busy.
Yeah.
Hakufurahi. Big up. I love that man. Unajua mzee tukiwa mayouth alikuwa anatuita kwake anatupikia kanyama hapo akatuhekerera.
Yes.
Tukiwa mayouth day. He's a very good man.
Yes.
So there is this trend. There is this guy in Kenya. I would like to hear your view about the health system of Kenya. There was this guy who took his kid to the hospital, and the kid died.
Yep. And
the system failed them. Kenya, it's money before your health.
Unfortunately, it is. I saw the video, and the pain in that dad's everything, voice, body, soul. You don't even have to be a parent to relate to that kind of pain, because it shouldn't happen, you know?
Yeah.
So,
do you think the system will ever change, especially in Kenya, to where even doctors are striking because they are being underpaid?
I know, and it's when they go on strike, then people want to vilify them and want to crucify them because mnaacha wagonjwa, but you have to look at both sides of the coin, both sides of the story, and I really hope that, because Kenya, my home, potential tuko nayo, resources tuko nazo, brains, people who are smart, people who can do great things.
Yes.
Even all the doctors in Kenya, I have a few family members that are doctors. We have what it needs, what it takes as a country to be amazing. It's just the way things are run that challenge, things. But I really hope that someday soon.
Si tukiwa na one term.
Someday soon that can change.
Does it put fear in you with all the knowledge that you have gathered and the heart that you have for helping people, that you would go back to Kenya and work for them? Would you?
It's something that I've actually thought about, because currently I'm not in the clinical space, because I'm in the public health space. But there's also a lot of work, in public health, anywhere. But it's you always remember charity begins at home, and that has been a driving force for me.
Okay.
And currently, because I work in HIV, especially my work in HIV/AIDS, and it's something that I would want to go back and do the work.
Okay.
At home.
Yes.
And I've thought about it. I've mentioned it. Even if hata babangu kamuuliza sahi, I've always said, with my current employer, because they also have work in Kenya, I've always be like, naweza taka wanitume Kenya.
Yes.
To go just be on the ground and do the work, because there's a lot of work, and there's people deserving of the resources.
True.
So yeah.
To our men in our community, we don't like going to the hospital. I hosted the pharmacist here, and we're talking about husbands don't make the appointment.
Mbona mnakuanga hivi?
Mazee sijui shida ni nini. So I want you to talk to us men. Why do we need to go to the hospital? Because we are like, why am I going to the hospital and I'm not feeling bad? Niko sawa, why am I going to the hospital?
But you need to be get your annual physical done. I know it might take 30 minutes out of your day, but get it done. That's how you get a baseline, because saa zingine unakutanga something happens, God forbid somebody becomes sick.
Yeah.
And and then so unaenda kwa daktari wanajaribu kufika when did they start, you know, did we maybe kuna kitu tungeona
Yeah.
it was coming up but then hauna labs where the last time ulienda kwa hey daktari anakuuliza when was the last time you were here even or seen by a healthcare profession. Maybe hata labda ni last vaccination yenye nilikuwa enye ilibidi nipate maybe hapo ndo the last time.
Yes.
So I got like, hey, okay. But I think health is wealth. And I don't say it lightly. As much as, you know, men wanasema, mi hata sisikie anything. Mbona nishinde ninaenda kusumbua, nasema naenda kusumbua daktari.
Mbona nimsumbue daktari na mimi nasikia niko sawa. Naamuka nalala na dishi, naenda job.
I would say just go. Hata kama utaenda once a year, hiyo unafanya tu your annual checkup, because then we're establishing a baseline. And if something is starting to creep up, you know, as with age, you know, and especially like, you know, for our community, kuna vitu za blood pressure, diabetes, they start to show up, you know. That is something that daktari anaweza notice before it actually becomes a bigger issue. Kuna labs atakuwa akifanya ako like, hey, hapa tuna need kuongea because you know,
I can relate.
We, you know, because and then the goal is we don't want to always put you on medication because ukiona kama blood pressure yako inaenda juu or sukari, then we can start having conversations about lifestyle modification. You know, and it doesn't have to involve medication. So it's a thing of, you know your health. You know, hata kama utaenda tu kumwona once a year, yo ni sawa, uko mbele kabisa.
I'll give you my life story, a bit. So one time, I'm just chilling. I get a headache. I just take Tylenol. Most of the time, we don't read directions, right? So me, I'm just taking my tablets and stuff. This one time too, now forgive me for my Christianity, Christianism. I just felt something in my heart. Buddha, you need to go Hosi to be checked. I've never done that. So I booked my appointment and I did. I went. And the docky was like, oh, so why are you here? I'm like, I'm here for just a physical test, you know? And she's like, have you ever been done blood work? I'm like, no, I've never. And how old are you? I told him how old. Are you serious? Can we do it right now? So I told him, yeah, go ahead. So I didn't know I have a problem with seeing my own blood.
Wa.
Mi mazee nilidungwa tu hapa hivi.
Walikuwa kona chini.
Nilikuwa nimekalia chini tu venye nimekaa hivi. So ana draw blood na mbona jindo, mazee huyu mzee ananitoa damu mob, chupa kaa 3 na zimejaa. I passed out. I didn't know, like, I just passed out. I passed out twice. So I stayed, then the doctors came, nini. Almost did to an ambulance. We uko sawa? And did you drive yourself? No, my wife brought me. Oh, okay, safe. Call your wife to pick you up. So she picked me up. A week later, 2 weeks, they give me the results. Guess what we found out? I was about to be diabetic and my liver was messed up because of Tylenol. I was taking too many. So I didn't know that Tylenol I'm supposed to, because I was taking the 500 milligram Billy instead of taking 1. And I was taking 2 because that time I was having a problem with my knees.
What?
So every week, Monday na Friday, ngapi? Mazee, I didn't know my liver was getting messed up. So I'm lucky that I went because now the doctor was able to help me on how to change my living to take care of my liver and at the same time to take care of my diabetic would have been worse, you know. So saizi najitayarisha tutaenda endoscopy na colonoscopy. Lakini niko na mabesti wangu hapa hivi nawaambia wakifika waniambie. So maze, it's crazy because now I sit back and I'm like, what if I never went and I continue with my same habit? I think it could have been worse.
It could have been worse because your liver could have failed.
Yeah.
And then sasa pia diabetes. By the time unaenda, it would have been, you know, already like advanced.
Yes.
When now at the point that you went, I'm glad you went at that point and the doctor was able to catch it.
Yeah.
So because then they can start addressing it.
Yes.
So that's why nasema hata kama utenda tu once a year.
Yes.
Na nakufanya lab na kufanya physical, everything iko poa, cause then that's ataona trend. Ako like, Saint last year ulikuja sukari yako ilikuwa hivi, blood pressure yako ilikuwa hivi.
Yes.
Hapa nimeona imeenda juu. Then at that point anaweza kuambia, enda nyumbani unirekodie za like a week or two.
Yes.
Nione kama ni tu hii ya leo imenishtua ama ni hizi zingine.
Yes.
And then that's how you now start having this conversation, then you can actually be proactive than being reactive, So.
Oh, proactive. Hebu repeat that one more time. Umeanza kutoa majema hapa daktari. Ati before?
You're proactive before you're reactive,
Nice. So men, please go and get checked.
Yes.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Yes. And then like the healthcare professionals are nice. They will meet you where you are. Hata kama hujai ingia hospitali, hujai tolewa damu, they will meet you where you are.
Yes.
So,
You guys are our friends. You travel a lot.
yes.
You're a traveler. So what's always in your travel bag when you're on assignment?
So I am a traveler. I catch flights.
Not feelings.
Yes, I catch flights for personal travel. I'm a solo traveler.
Yes.
But also for work.
Yes.
And I think hapo ndo nilisema nilikosea introduction yangu
Ni
tulienda
sawa,
juu
usiogope.
tukarudi chini
That's why podcast haikuagi na motaratara.
I know.
Tunarukaruka tu.
hapa si
Hapa si NTV.
anyway, yes. So hiyo nimejishika.
Ulikuwa uchome.
Sorry.
Usichome tufungiwe station. Usichome tusifungiwe station.
But yeah, no, I travel for work because I should have said when I introduced myself, I am an epidemiologist.
Yes.
I work in the global...
Relax. Please, you're not talking to doctors here.
Okay.
Who?
Epidemiologist.
Hiyo ni nini? What does that mean?
Sijui nikuandikie.
Hiyo direct ataandika hapa.
Ataandika
hata my viewers saizi wana google what hiyo nini na hawajaisikia.
Acha kuchomea viewers
na
wewe.
Kama
hujui wewe.
Hawa ni wakurugenzi I know them. They don't know.
Watu wako wanajua.
They don't.
So epidemiologist comes from the word epidemiology.
Okay.
Epidemiology is the study of how diseases and other health factors, like the cause of them, how they spread and are distributed in population. So it's population health.
Okay.
So it's part of public health.
Okay.
So our work or my work involves like finding out the cause of a certain disease or health condition, whom is affecting, how it's affecting them, how it's spread, and then also working on preventing and control.
Okay.
And then looking ahead into the future, like now, especially now with like AI and machine learning, using modeling, to like kind of predict, like try to see if this was to ever happen again in the future, what magnitude would it be, things like that. So,
I have seen doctors and nurses are scared that AI is coming to replace their work. Is it true?
I mean, I've seen that, but I don't know. Sioni venye AI. There's some aspects of it because even now at work we're using it, you know, with and it's actually been helpful there. Najikutanga I'm like putting prompts there in this idea, but I don't know. I don't think that it can get to a place where it can replace us completely. Yeah, that would be scary.
I know,
because you still need a human touch. Hata ukua daktari, hata kama like they'll, I don't know, AI itapewa prompt zote, Besh akisema kona homa, muulize homa ilianza lini ama nakohoa, wakamasi inatoka or whatever. There's still that part of medicine or health that there's the human connection and human touch.
There was this series I was watching, and one was for the chips. So they have made robots with AI technology. So this hospital is full of doctors and nurses who are AI. And then a lady, she had cancer, and so they were like, they have a kerchief they're gonna put in your head. It's gonna help you to cope up with it. But now the crazy part is, it's like they are doing a research. So there is an upgrade in every time. So when they bought the first one, like a program, they went home and found out that in after every 1 hour or 2 hours, she's like losing it, talking things. It's like a commercial in between. So like the way we are talking to you, I start saying, guy could have a 15% off Evo. So the Hazi was shocked. They had to go back to the doctor. Oh, the doctor is like, oh yes, we didn't tell you. That plan you guys took, it has commercials
Oh my
after
goodness.
every 2 hours. So if you want this one to upgrade with no commercials,
Yeah.
pay a lot. Then in the whole sea, Maze, they started malfunctioning. So one, they are doing surgery, they start zzz, and they start cutting the knee. So I'm like, hey, Maze, kama ni ukweli AI is heading here, we are doomed.
Yeah, because
It's crazy.
it's technology, and it can, as much as zimetengenezwa, zimeundwa,
Yeah.
zimefanywa trials upon trials, saa zingine vitu tu zina malfunction
Unash-
zenyewe. So you're like, where?
I know.
So, but yeah, tulikuwa wapi? What is something that I always have?
Yes, while
So,
you travel
yeah.
in your bag, need to
My work involves a lot of traveling.
Yes.
So in my travel bag, there's a few things that I always have to have with me. But one is inaitwa nini? Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that comes to my second question.
music is my therapy. So I have a personal travel one, Bluetooth one.
Okay.
Iyo sikosangi kubeba.
Lazima ikue.
Iyo lazima ikue, regardless if I'm traveling for work or personal. And then something I learned from work, especially for me being a woman and being a solo traveler,
Yes.
is there's a door stepper that I carry. And even hata kwa hotel kama wako na zile unafunga padlock mpaka na chains huku.
Yes.
And there's that you can get on Amazon. It's a door lock. Unaweka hapa chini ya mlango. Unaweka is battery operated, so unaweka mawe. And then if somebody was to try to open that door, it will alarm. Yeah, so it's like a safety, another added layer of safety. Yeah.
Can I add you another one?
Yes.
Sa inayo, ni ukiingia kwa hoteli, you can check and see if there are cameras. You have realized there are cases whereby people are saying they
I've
find
seen
cameras in hotels,
in the
and
mirrors or
Airbnbs.
somewhere.
Yeah. So that's another one.
Okay,
on
that's a good
Amazon.
one.
Yeah.
I will add it to my travel kit.
Yes, it's very essential. On that note, on my second question, because you already said about the speaker, when you're on your assignment, which is your favorite song that keeps you, in the mood, in the good mood? We ukae mtu wa reggae wewe. We ukae mtu wa reggae.
Uko sure?
Mi sioni ka wewe unakaa mtu wa nini? Wa kardinali. Bien.
Bien is amazing.
Bien.
Bien ako sawa. Ako tu sawa. I don't know that I have. I think it depends on the day, and it depends on how I'm feeling, like how the day was. Was it a heavy day? Was it a light day?
Yes.
So do I need cheering up? Do I need to have my own little party in my room?
In your room.
Or do I just need to mellow down, for the night? So I think it just depends on the day. But
Okay.
minim so a reggae.
Oh, name so reggae.
Reggae, dance hall.
You don't have favorite? Ama ni gani your favorite?
Ah.
Ja people shout free.
No, Chris Martin is one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I love Cecile.
Yes. She hasn't made some music
I know
in
it's
a
been
while.
a minute. I know.
Cecile, if you ever get to see this, kuna mafans hapo
I know, man.
anakutafuta.
You put some song on YouTube.
I know, right? We've been waiting, girl.
Bombo.
Where you at? No, and Elaine.
Oh, yes, Elaine too.
And she's been on the gospel tracks as well, and they're really great songs.
Yes.
So yeah, some of my favorite artists.
Since wewe ni mtu wa mulima, Na ninajua supu haikosagi kwa chakula. What's one local dish you love and one that you don't?
Like from Kenya or from...
Let's do one local Kenya and then one international. Because, hey, you're a traveler. We are sorry. Hey.
From Kenya,
Yes.
Ugali is bay.
Is bay. Naka kapilipili kwa umbali.
Kapilipili.
Ka avocado.
Si kwa umbali.
Eh.
Mimi na pilipili. Same
Mko hivi?
WhatsApp. Same WhatsApp.
Gai. Naka nyama.
Ai, sasa. And sasa hapo ndo mfadha nasemanga.
Yeah.
Future has bay. Future
lazima ujue kupika nyama.
Lazima, hata maybe our own butchery.
Hey. Kwa hivyo enda protein mko hivi.
Mimi na nyama.
Yeah, nyam choma ama kafry.
Any. So long as ni nyama.
Yeah.
Hata ile siku mtakutana na dad, muuliza atakwambia huyo hajui kukula chakula haina nyama na si kujifanya. It's not even ati ni maringo. Nimelelewa nikikula nyama.
So dada tuchomee kanyama.
Mimi na nyama tunakuanga hapa kwa hapa.
Hata mimi kanyama nakapenda. Jia protein. No, hiyo ni poa. What's one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
I think hata mmoja ushasema huko unajua mimi ni msee wa reggae.
I know. I'm like, hey. Lakini ngoja ni chome nisichome.
Choma. Sasa hiyo ni moja.
Sasa hizi nimejua
mtu reggae na dance hall.
Unajua kuna mtu uliletea birthday cake ilikuwa na weed. Sasa hizi niko zile enyewe ni wewe ni mtu wa reggae. Umekumbuka? Mazee ulichoma ukasema this is my small brother. Tatu chome.
Huko ni wapi unanirudisha?
Akiwashia tajijua. But now he's happily married. We bless the Lord. Hapo ndo nimejua wewe unapenda reggae.
Let's take a moment of silence.
Sip some water. Sip some water, please. Unajua umeniambia wewe ni mtu wa reggae. Nikakaa hivi niko zile. Sijai kuona umevaa kiti ya reggae. Serious.
Nafaa nikutumie picha ama hata uliza my good cousin Joe. Like shout out to Joe. Like me and her.
Huyo ni cousin? Huyo ni wazimu.
Asi cousin huyu wa
hiyo ni blood.
Hiyo ni blood.
Lakini
my mom and her
mama
mama sisters.
So, for real?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Hey.
So we had a phase of reggae. We would wear everything.
Huyo nilionaga pahali mtu alimupost. Nikasema guy.
Yep. But
God is
the
good.
other thing the people will be surprised to know about me is I'm a party girl.
What does your parents say about you partying all the time?
I mean, I don't party all the time. But
when time
when I do it,
you go all out.
Tunarudi kwa nyumba saa 2. Especially when I'm in Kenya, when I go to nikienda
Kenya.
Unajua
party after party.
Party after ikipika ni kupiga sherehe. Tunapiga sherehe.
Unapiga sherehe bila kusamehea. Unasema narudishia mwili shukrani. And all the years imekuwa huko America nikifanya kazi. True.
Na hakuna hiyo opportunity ya kwenda kwa club mpaka saa 1 saa 2 asubuhi.
True.
So that's the other side of me.
What's
I'm a party girl.
By the way of you saying a party, have you seen in Kenya it has really changed? Like when we were in Kenya growing up, clubs zilikuwa zinaendwa na maboy sana. Saizi imekuwa madem ndio wengi kuliko machali. Why do you think that is so?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. Maybe it's the what wanna realize you can still have this life, you can still go out and party so long as everything is in moderation.
Yes.
Sasa kama unaenda kila siku and una forget responsibilities zako or then hapo kuna shida. But if you're doing it weekend hapa na pale unajiachilia, I don't see an issue with that, you know.
I think this one I know the answer, but let me ask you, what do you do to unwind after a long time in the field? Party after party.
No, if I'm traveling for work, you know, kuna vitu hapa na pale uwezi fanya.
Okay.
So I might just have a party in my own room.
Oh, nice.
So that's why I said music is my therapy.
Yes.
So ndo maana speaker yangu
You have it's your bay.
It's bay,
Yes.
so I can do that to unwind. Ama nap. Mimi napenda.
Oh, for real?
Sijui kama nafaa kusema hivyo out loud, napenda kula.
No, madaktari walale ndio mtu treat vizuri na mwanze kufanya research vizuri.
I've come to realize a nap helps. A nap goes a long way.
It does.
Asi lazima ulale ile na pia.
Kale ka 30 minutes. Usiogo. Zinajua wewe ni daktari utazitibu.
Haya. Anyway, so inaweza kuwa ni 2-hour nap.
Okay.
Like 15 minutes.
Unakachukua
then you recharge
do you
your
sleep
body.
in public? Like you're in plane, do you sleep?
Hey, my friend.
Utachukua kinap mbaya?
Mimi nitalala. Hizo flight ndefu sijui 8 hours, maybe nitakaa up 2 hours nikule after that kama hakuna movie inaleta bidii. Mimi ndanap.
Na public?
Mimi hata nimelala job.
Hey.
Okay, right. No, I have to say this because I had a very amazing boss when I used to work at PayPal.
Okay.
This was nikifanya undergraduate, so I used to work and go to school.
Yeah.
So I used to work at PayPal. So because schedule ya clinical saa zingine tunawak late nini.
Yeah.
Nilikuwa nimechoka, niko shift. Ilikuwa break time yangu, so nika clock out. So unaenda tu place kai kwa lounge hallway.
Yeah.
Kuna viti za kukaa.
Yes.
Couch kalikuwa hapo. Mpaka nilikuwa na blanketi because I get cold easily, so
okay. Ukacheza ka wewe.
Job mimi na tu blanketi tu kujekelea, especially wakirani si.
Okay.
So nikatoka na blanketi kangu kwa couch.
Hey, right away.
So the good thing nilikuwa nimejifunika hadi kichwa. Mimi nika take nap. Ilikuwa break yangu ya 15 minutes.
Wow.
Nika take nap. So somebody took a picture of it. And so they sent it to like security because they were like, is this person okay? Mbona? Because hawajui hawoni face and watu wanashusa should we uncover them?
Yes.
So babi break yangu ikaisha na mimi nikarudi job. So picha inafanya tu maraundi leadership wanajaribu
kujua who is this.
So the next day my supervisor called like, Besh, is this you? Because I recognize your blanket.
What did you say?
Sasa I was like, yeah, I took a nap, my 15-minute break. I was like, okay, that's okay. People are just wondering, is the person okay? They didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Kwa hallway, a job, lounge your job. Mimi nimechoka.
Unajiachilia tu.
Nimeachilia nikapower nap na nikarudi job.
Hey, uko sawa. If I called one of your friends, how do they describe you?
Yikes.
Nipigie mmoja.
Waweza piga mmoja tu.
Atuambie.
Anaweza tuambia, but if I had to take a guess, they would say kind.
That's nice. That's why in this field you have to be kind to take care of people.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I get it from my mom. My mom has a very big heart, you know.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I think unamjua. So
yes.
she has a very big heart, and even now with this my big age, you know.
Yes.
With this my big age. I always look up to her, and I'm like, if I can even be that of the woman you are, you know, naona kama I've done things, despite everything that I'm doing, because she's very given, very open doors to anybody. So I think, and one thing alituambianga tukua wadogo, you're blessed to be a blessing.
Yes.
So and I've taken that and I've kept that with me. That's why I stayed kind, because I try to leave people better than I found them. So it doesn't always work out because but as much as I can to be helpful if I'm able to. So yeah.
Correct me on this one. Nilikuwa nafanya ka research kidogo. Ulikuwa umetaja, but I'm not sure. But correct me if it's wrong, eh? What inspired you to dedicate your life to working with people affected by HIV?
Yeah. So I actually Nilijikuta.
Ulijipata tu?
Nilijikuta working in the HIV field, and I think that ignited something in me because And to the viewers, like, pole, mimi najua introduction yangu ilienda ikaenda because I should have put the story together for you to get to this question so you can understand.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't really mention I did clinical nursing, but then after that I went back when I was still working at Harborview. I went to UW to do my master's in community health. And I did a graduate certificate in global health. So that was my introduction to more of the public health.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm the one who cut you short nikaanza kukupatia kielelezo stories zingine.
No,
Nikupata mabeste tu tukibonga tu stories ina flow. Poleni my people, I'm sorry.
I know hata mimi unajua kama ujazoea kukuwa in the limelight so akili
inaenda hivi.
Inaenda hivi so mtu samehe.
Yeah,
so I
forgive
think
us.
Introduction ningesema jina yangu mimi naitwa Besh.
Yes.
I'm an epidemiologist.
Yes.
I'm a doctorate holder. I have a master's and I have an undergraduate.
Kichwa moja iko na hizo vitu zote.
Undergraduate is in nursing, and I am a registered nurse. I don't practice clinically, but I still have my license.
Yes.
Master's was in community health nursing, and I also at the same time I did them together. And nilifanya master's and a graduate certificate at the same time. In the graduate certificate was in global health.
Okay.
And then my doctorate is in public and global health.
Awesome.
With specializing in epidemiology. So that's how it all ties into epidemiology.
Yeah.
And I work currently in global HIV AIDS. I work for the federal government.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
But yeah, coming back to your question, so after my master's, I went to work at Tacoma Pierce County Health Department. So that was my real introduction into working into public health. Kutoka clinical nursing, my first role there was a public health nurse consultant. Okay. So working with medical providers, updating them on guidance, nini. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, they have a space for position nilikuwa nafanya, but they needed a nurse in their HIV STD clinic. Okay. So they're like, are you interested? I'm like, I know about HIV, but I don't know about HIV because I know what it is. But as far as caring for patients or providing services to people living with HIV or at risk, that was completely new. Yes. But I think for me, I like to challenge myself. So nikasema, sawa. So started working in the clinic, and the doctors would bring me in as they were seeing the patient so I can understand, because then I ended up running the clinic when the doctors were not there, that I could move patients along. And I'll say at that time the patients that we were seeing were had the most risk for HIV or already living with HIV, because they were men who have sex with men, transgender persons. Those was some of the clients that we served, or people experiencing homelessness who were also maybe had substance and drug misuse. And so because we also at the health department, we had a methadone clinic, so they can't be seen for that. But because of the risk of sharing needles and things like that, they're also at risk for HIV. So that's what some of the patients that I would see. And I think from that, then it opened something in me. I was like, there's this whole population that most times ends up being stigmatized because of HIV. But they are just like...
Why are you going to my next question?
Oh, sorry. Mwalimu, student ako mbele.
I know. Sawa, shikanisha na hiyo. Wacha nikuulize hiyo ndio ushikanize. Liwake kweta stigma ginya ithiete gege.
Sorry.
So, shikanisha hiyo stigma na ingine. So, ya stigma inakuwa, how does the stigma around HIV differ in the various countries you have worked in? Okay. So shikanisha hapo.
So nilikuwa nasema, so when I started working with those patients, like something in me, I was like, there are people just like me. Just because they have HIV, it doesn't define them. Yes. And we've come a long way from when HIV was a death sentence. Now people lead, amazing lives with medication.
Gen Z, actually, you know what they're saying? When they're having sex, they're afraid of being pregnant than AIDS. na time yetu tulikuwa tunasema boss hatutaki mimba.
Hatutaki mimba. I mean, Gen Z was squeezy.
Vitu
So, you know, like, so seeing, then for me, it was also their bravery to even come to the clinic, you know, kizungu imekata, like, tell you their status, you know, and for them to be able to get services. And I was like, this is a population, and, you know, I would like to work in and to be able to render services. So kutoka hapo nikafanya kazi ya HIV, and that's what led me to go into global health, because I was like, you know, coming from Kenya, and we know the burden of HIV. Even back then, now it's better because there's medication services, and, you know, coming from Kenya when everything was so stigmatized, I was like, I'd like to understand HIV/AIDS from a global perspective. So that's when I went back for my doctorate, and now that's when I work in the global HIV space. So that's why I said nilijikuta, like I got introduced in the work, and then it just resonated with me. And I found myself being driven, like, this is the population I'd like to serve. I'd like to understand more of their lives, you know, and to try to also educate the other community that doesn't live with HIV that, hey, we need to be better. You know, they are part of our community. They are our brothers and sisters. You may never know that, but they are our brothers and sisters. So we need to be there to support them. So stigma differs, like in the countries that I've been to for work, some in Africa, some in Asia. It differs. And I think it's more of a cultural thing. Because unaona, like, okay, I'm going to use, and even in my current work, I'll just nirudi nyuma niseme, those are the same populations at higher risk for HIV that I still work with. So like so for my line of work, my current job, we refer to them as key populations. So under key populations, we have men who have sex with men, transgender persons, women or men who engage in commercial sex. You notice I'm using different terminology because it's the new correct terminology to use than what other people use. So, you know, in that it could be like female sex workers was a term that people would use, but now we're using women who engage in commercial sex, people who inject drugs, and then people in prisons. And so those are the 5 categories of key populations that my work revolves around. So each country you go to is different. And I think it depends. One is a cultural thing, and the information out there about what is HIV and how do you live with it, or what, you know, how people perceive people living with HIV. And then especially when you connect it to, like, let's say men who have sex with men. We know even currently a lot of African countries that is a taboo. People don't even want to talk about it, don't even want to say the term. Like
Uganda.
Yes, Uganda. I've been to Uganda a few times for work. And, you know, when they passed the Anti-Homosexuality Act, like bill, we're like, we're going back like so many years, but it came from a place of the perception in the country that this is a Western thing. Like, why you, mbona mnatuletea hizi vitu? Sisi tunajua Bible ilisema, you know, man and woman. These are the things we don't atuelewi, you know, but you have to move with the times because, you know, what somebody kenye mtu anafanya, it doesn't affect you, you know? You just gotta show them love because above all, they are a human being and they are in need of a service. And that's why I'm still here working in that population, because when I started working with that population, I would get questions, and you're a Christian. So that means you're supporting their way of life. Like Bible inasema ni James na Njeri. Sasa James na Kamau wametoka wapi? And I had to deal with those questions because, yes, I was raised, I'm Christian, raised, you know, I still, God palembele, God above all. But I can't be saying nasav Mungu, but na discriminate mtu because of whom they choose to love. That does not affect me. Love is love. Na hiyo kama yeye ni believer, siku ya judgment ikifika, wataongelelea hiyo. Mimi, I'm a clinician. I'm here to provide services. So kuja uniambie what services, okay, how can we make your life better? What services do you need? And that's it. And I wish more people would see it as that. Wache kuona ni kama una James. Sasa hiyo ndo kitu, that's where stigma comes from, because now kuna hiyo intersection ya HIV, a disease that has been highly stigmatized kutoka kitambo. Then sasa uongeze men having sex with men, or women engaging in commercial sex for survival. But you have to think, what's the cause of this? Why do we have young girls or even women choosing to, or maybe not even choosing, because some are exploited into commercial sex? But why?
Poverty.
There you go, poverty. The system has failed.
Yes.
So you have to take a step back, and usione mtoto mdogo wa high school anafanya hiyo mambo, you're like, hey, na wazazi wako hapa, because it's probably not their will. They've been exploited into it. But then, or even if they ended up doing it, it's because masema poverty. So for me, in population public health, we think about the social determinants of health.
Okay.
It's not just about Saint amekuja akona homa nimpe Tylenol, ama akona COVID nimpe dawa ya Tylenol. Then I have to look at you as a whole. Okay, Saint anaishi wapi? Akona chakula. Like amekuja, amefika clinic aji. Those are the other social determinants of it, like factors that affect your health based on who you are, where you live, what access you have to resources. And it's the same thing if kama mtoto mdogo is poverty, and that's the only thing that has been available to them, ama ameona hata wakubwa wake hivyo ndo anafanya kusurvive, then if there isn't any other help coming in, atajikuta tu hapo. So I would urge people, stop and look at mbona iko hivi. But Uganda, unfortunately, with that bill, kazi imekuwa ngumu, even for our colleagues that work there. But like more countries are now starting to open up.
Okay.
Kenya has done amazing with because even they actually have like civil societies that activists activists kizungu
ni sawa hii tuliipata hapa
like the advocate for the LGBTQI community, for them to access. They have a consortium, so they've done amazing to stand up and say we are here, and this is who we are, and this is who we love, and we deserve our right to access services just as you and Jane and whoever else. Because wewe ukienda hakuna mtu anakuuliza just because you don't identify as such. You go get your services. And health should be a right for everybody. Hizi vitu zingine, those are details, as we say. Hizo ni details. Wewe umekuja, you need services, sawa. Pewa services.
True.
So even in other African countries that I've been, it varies. And it also comes from how is the government engaging with the population? Because unajua stigma ni mambo ya perception, misconception, mis and disinformation. Unaona? Because watu wakiogopa, then they're like, sasa, I don't know. But if you have a supportive government or people who are actually doing this work, then that's how you start to break down, this stigma and things like that. But Asian countries, they do amazing work. So it just depends on, and it's more of a cultural context, especially for the population that I work with. Are they accepted for who they are? That's the first thing. Because if they're not, then they have more barriers and challenges they have to overcome to even access services in some parts. So, yeah.
Nice. Now you have come to my other question. Yani unaniguzishia yani. Now we talk about culture. I know, man. Nyinyi watu wenye siko watakuka next na wao. I was like, I don't want to stay with this one. Anakuja hapa ku show off. Now let's talk about cultural. What cultural or local practices have surprised you either in how they hurt or help HIV awareness and care? I think that what I want you to, especially Uganda.
Hiyo ni ngumu. Because the main problem there is the perception of, the population, who they are. Like, I'm going to use men who have sex with men. There's this, I don't know, ideology that this inikitu, it's a Western thing. Like
Yes.
sisi wa Afrika
Hatunaga hizi
hatukulelewa
vitu.
hivyo,
Yeah.
hatunanga hizo vitu, but it was probably there. It was just not as
Publicized
and open as it is,
Yeah.
or maybe even if it was there, people didn't understand. Maybe they would see somebody who appears to be different from them,
Yes.
but then you don't understand because you're like, maybe ule anakaa nikaa, I don't know, but you don't have words to put it together to what exactly it is.
Yes.
So I think it's more of, but then that comes from top down. Imeanza juu. Because for them to sign such a bill, imetoka huko juu, has trickled down to the community.
Yes.
So unaona, if changes to come, it also has to start from the top. Or even at the bottom, as they try to advocate for themselves, then unfortunately there were issues with violence, or they were getting attacked,
Yes.
because of advocating that this is not right.
Yes.
They deserve services. So it have to be 360 change. Yanza juu, teremke mpaka chini.
mpaka chini. Nice. Yeah, I think kuliko umejibu, but let me I have an answer for it. I think so.
You have a ask.
Yeah. In what places have you seen the most progress in fighting HIV, and what's making the difference there?
Yeah, I think I think I answered the second one first. What's making the difference is leadership, like governance. Could it be like the country itself? Has recognized, HIV is not a death sentence. It's like a disease like any other. And we need to support the people that are living with HIV so they can lead, a normal as normal as they can have a life. And once like the key players are on the same page and they understand that, then those countries do better, because then they will advocate for resources. They'll make sure the medications are available. People can get tested anywhere. You don't have to go to a certain. Kitambo kulikuwa na VCT clinics. They were like
you had to go.
specific, very specific. Ukitaka kujua una have kwenda like specific clinic.
Yes.
But now even in Kenya, it's integrated. You can, there are, clinics that do that work specifically, especially for the population that I work with. They have their clinics, but they're integrating them into, other government facilities as well. That ukienda, you can still get services for HIV. So, it comes from a place of leadership. And, even because most of my work is in Africa. Africa is a continent. I know I'm saying Africa. It's a continent for the countries that have. Don't come for me. Like,
relax, my guys. Only choppy 4 points.
So, like, for the continent, Mama Africa, or, of whom we're descendants, they've done, an amazing job with, their response to HIV, ensuring services are available and doing, whatever they can to dismantle stigma and discrimination and violence, Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what does a typical day look like for you on the ground in a global HIV setting?
I think it depends on the project that we're working on, because sometimes it could be we're implementing like an intervention. So I'll give 2 examples. So in South Africa, I was working with population who inject drugs.
Okay.
And so for them, so they're in HIV care, but as they were also going through rehab for the drug and substance misuse. So it was like they get better and they are continuing with their HIV medication, they're adhering, but then they're like we wake up and we have this fog because we don't want to go back to using drugs. So what else can we do? So we, for that, had to sit down with them. And I said, okay, if we had all the money and resources, what else, what other services could we bring to you? Other than, you come to the clinic, there's group work, there's activities, what else? They were like, we would like to be able to, economic empowerment. We would like to learn some skills, some trade, And so we we were like, okay, give us ideas. Like maybe we could get like land that could be donated or something like that. We could when it's like a kuku, so then they can use that. They can have something that is income generating.
Yeah.
And so we ended up like sitting with the stakeholders, colleagues, nini, and actually implementing an economic empowerment, project for people who inject drugs. So, and that it was like, having sit downs with them, discussing. And the key thing is they have to have a seat at the table. Like in the world of HIV, there's a saying we say, nothing for us without us.
Yes.
So-
Nothing for us without us.
Yes.
That's a dope one.
Yeah. So even if we're coming to say, okay, we want to do a project,
Yes.
ask them what kind of project would be most beneficial. Si nikuja niseme, I think mnafaa nyi wote kwanza kukimbia ama tuwafundishe, mechanics. But that's not what they want.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we asked, we listened, and then, that's something that has been ongoing with the support of, multiple stakeholders. And
Yes.
and then like in Kenya, something that I worked on was, integrating most of the clinics, which are usually standalone, but try to integrate them with like the government, like MOH facilities. And that involves like having meetings with MOH, the government, colleagues that work in the Kenya office, and, doing assessments like, okay, so what would it take to have an integrated clinic that,
Yes.
James akikuja, and yes, they identify as a man who has sex with men. Like, can they still get the full scope of services that they get at this standalone clinic that is made for them? But if we integrate those services here, can they still come, one, feel safe, comfortable, accepted, to access? So it takes a lot of training the healthcare workers on sensitization to serving this population, because wengine hawajai serve that population,
Yes.
so there's a lot of training that goes into that and things like that. So some of the work that I've been involved in. So
Nice. I like it. Lakini unafanya ninafikiria.
sasa, okay, turudi nyuma, nimekuacha wapi?
Hujaniacha ni kusema it's like kwa sababu sijaisikia like mtu anaongea into deep about HIV and all those awareness and nini accesses that are there, and you saying that we have all those nini places and accesses to do all those things, and how we should take care of each other and love each other no matter our sex, whatever. Inanimake na think kwa sababu from hii nataka ikuwe controversial kidogo.
Haina shida.
What you know the stand of the church,
Yep.
right? Especially our African preachers. And now what you're saying that we should love our LGBTQ. What would you tell our African preachers when it comes to health-wise, taking care of these people?
Is what the church is, the church is a place where it says come as you are.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that's something they use. It's like it's an safe and open space.
Yes.
Come as you are. So then let's use that. Let's hapo tushikilia tu
They'll tell you, but don't stay the way you are.
True. Najua watasema hivyo, come but don't stay as you are, but you have to understand that's how the person is.
Yes.
And as much as we want to go into the doctrine, kanisa, Bible ilisema, Mungu ali, this is how, see them for who they are.
Yes.
Wacha kujaribu kusema lakini si tukikufundisha ama Bible unaweza badilika because Mungu hiyo wachia Mungu.
Yes.
You do your job as a pastor or as a clinician.
Yes.
They're here. Why? They need services because they are at risk for HIV or they're already living with HIV.
Yes.
So how can we move them along? Wacha akuje kanisa.
Yeah.
Like hizo vitu zingine, and this is, you have, like I said, mi nilikuwa napata hizo maswali like,
Yes.
why would you work with
especially
this,
as a Christian?
why would you work with this population?
Yes.
My question is, why not? it's a human being just as I am.
That's true.
They've chosen to love differently than I do.
Yes.
And that's perfectly okay.
Uh-huh.
So mimi mbona ni mjudge?
Hakuna haja.
Hakuna haja. Mimi si amekuja kwangu kuza anani services and the services that I provide.
Yes.
And that's what I'm going to focus on.
Yes.
You know? Honestly, let's be progressive and see people for who they are first as a human being. And that's what health is about. It's a human being. Hizi vitu zingine, unless you needed to assess their risk or to provide services, it really should not interfere.
Yes.
So even at a kanisa, look at it from a point of health.
Yes.
You know? And actually, now that you brought up the church, when I was doing my doctorate, it was my research work was still on HIV.
Yeah.
And I took it to the church.
Okay.
And I, for a whole month, I had a questionnaire, pre and post test, trying to gauge people, what do you know about HIV?
Yes.
And I actually brought in an activist in the community, to talk about, HIV to the church after preaching.
Hey, yeah.
Nilikuwa napewa chance. Ninaongea about HIV.
Yes.
And things like that. And, ilikuwa ngumu.
I can imagine.
To even approach pastors to say, this is what I'm trying to do in a church setting. But,
we have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it. It's part of health because then, I also do volunteer work with like health fairs.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I would say. Tunaletanga health fairs, kanisa, with like, shout out Rutina, Center for Multicultural Health. She leads this work in the community.
Okay.
But then tunaona watu
hawaendi with me.
Yeah.
She should be here.
Yeah, hawaendi kwa room ya kutestiwa HIV. Wataenda kwa blood pressure, kwa kupimwa sukari, mammogram, weight, anything else was on the table, they will go. But nobody wants to go
VCT.
So then I started asking people,
why?
Just ile tu ya, I'm just curious, mbona amwendi kwa, they're like, hey, niingie pale St. nione nimeingia kwa hiyo room na najua hiyo room ni ya kwenda kupimwa HIV.
Yes.
So I was like,
you saw the problem.
We still have this perception and this stigma that was even back home that huku, and it's free resources tumeleta kwa community, but people won't even go. No matter tumewambia tumepata, they won't go. So I was like, hapa kuna shida.
Yes.
And so that's what I used for my capstone, for my doctorate, is I needed to make a project out of this with my community because why? Why are people bringing free resources na mwendi?
True.
Because unaogopa nikienda Besh anasema Besh alienda kwa ile room.
True.
But my thing was, do you even know what HIV is? Do you even know the risks? Do you even know how it's transmitted? Do you even know how to prevent,
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, we have to start Apple. So I took it to the church, and my church was very receptive. Then I did my project in the church.
Nice. I like that. Umesikia wachungaji tufanya hizi vitu hata kanisani. My last question. Since you have tackled hiyo ya mapastor, I hope hawatakuingililia vibaya, lakini it is what it is. We have to help everybody.
We have to help everybody. And they've been called to do that work just as I've been called to do this work. So we have to intersect pahali.
That's true. My last question. What gives you hope when you think about the future of HIV care and prevention? Nini nakupea motisha? I hope ni motisha.
I think so. Unajua Kiswahili sikumbuki nilipata nini, but wacha tusema nilipita, but and the reason why I pause when you uliza hii swali at a very challenging time in the work that we're doing.
Yes.
Because of all the changes are currently
I know, man.
happening.
I wish I can talk about it because I had so many questions to ask you about that.
I know you do, but
yes,
work a pause for another time.
Yes.
I will be back and we can address that.
Yes.
But with all the changes happening and funding, the biggest thing is funding.
Yes.
Because most of the countries right now, they still, to support their work, the HIV programs get funding, like it's donor funded, whether be it from the US or, other countries or other organizations.
Yeah.
So a heavy budget is donor funded, and
Okay.
that's something that is slowly diminishing in different ways, whether instantly or pole twist, something that we have started to think about. What does it mean? So it's a call to countries to start thinking about how they can sustain this work, the HIV programs with.
You have talked like the former president Uhuru, when that thing of defunding happened and Kenya started crying and stuff, and he was like, Munalia nini? Why are you guys crying? I think it's a challenge for you now to start thinking of how you guys are gonna help yourselves
Yes.
instead of getting
Yes.
help from other people.
So I think right now we're in very
Sticky situation.
sticky situation.
Yeah.
And so, but I still have hope, because we've come a long way for like the last 20 years or so in the
True.
world of HIV and the work that has been put in it.
True.
So I have hope that regardless of the challenges that are currently ongoing,
Yes.
that the work that has been done, but those who came before me will still hold it together, that we're not
Yes.
going to go back to where we're, things that have been like, the whole world, not just Africa, has
Yeah.
worked really hard to eliminate, mom to child transmission of HIV,
Yes.
because of
Yes.
medication. Because if a mom is living with HIV and they've been taking the medication, then they can get to a place where the virus is undetectable and they
Yeah.
will not pass it to their unborn child. And that's a major milestone. But with the
Yes.
disruption of medications currently, that's a big worry, because
True.
we don't want to go back to where kids are born with HIV, something that is preventable.
Yes.
So as much as there's challenges and turmoil in the global HIV space, I have hope that the work that has been done prior and the work that still continues will be enough to sustain the gains that we've gained throughout this year.
Yeah.
And despite the disruptions that we'll still overcome.
Yes.
Unajua hata in life kuna milima, mabonde,
kupanda na
kupanda
kushuka.
na kushuka. So
Ni
hapo
kweli.
pale tuko tunashuka na tuna
Yeah.
tufa tufio. That's my
No ni
Kikuyu.
mogo tofora.
Ni togo tofora. Unatoa
Yes.
tufa tufio
Ni
re.
kweli.
No togo tofora.
Nema. Ma, there is someone out there I would like you to talk to our community about us getting tested and being informed more about HIV. Talk to them.
So for everybody out there, like, go get tested. Like HIV, I know it's scary. I'm not gonna
Yes.
make light of it.
Yes.
Because it can change a lot of things when you get the diagnosis. But this is 2025. There's medications out there to even, prevent you from getting HIV. And if you are a person living with HIV, there's medication to sustain your life to whereby you get to a point where the virus is undetectable. And in my language, undetectable means untransmissible. So if your viral load is undetected, you cannot transmit HIV
Okay.
to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I say, make it part of the next time you go to your doctor, if you've never gotten an HIV test, have that conversation with your doctor. It doesn't have to be just because you think you're at risk or unasema, lakini me I'm easy.
Yes,
See,
yes.
me too. Niko tu na Kamau, like, or whomever. It doesn't have to be because unafikiria you've been exposed or anything.
Yeah.
It's part of your health.
Yes. Yes.
So if you've never had an HIV test, the next time you go for your annual
Check
have
up.
that conversation with your doctor, and they
Yes.
will, educate you about it. And then it's a blood test. Then
Yes.
utafanya tu lab kama vile wanatwanga kuangalia sukari or anything else that requires a blood draw.
Yes.
Just get it done. And there's resources in the community, and medication is available. So if that result was to come back positive, it might change your life or a few things, but it's not a death sentence. People have lived amazing lives living with HIV, and they will continue to do so.
Yes.
And I'm happy to work with anyone that needs more information or resources in the community, because health is wealth, like I said.
Yes.
And najua, HIV imefanya watu waogope. Like, mtu atatakangi kusikia ikitajwa pahali. But you're like, hey, daktari, wacha tu
cheza chini.
Cheza chini. No, like, go know your status,
Yes.
I know Jijue. There was command. I was trying to remember that commercial in Kenya. It was like Jijue or something. They had a tagline or
Jijue
and Jijue or G.
I think it to Jijue.
Yes, they had a tagline.
Yes.
So yeah, make it part of your health, and yeah.
All right. As we wind up, if someone would like to reach out to you, uko kwa social media ama unaweza wapea namba yako, how are you accessible? Ama email? Na machali wenye tuko single tutataka ku-DM, tutaenda wapi? Tupatie hizo mindful. Ulisema last name ni dad. So next time tunataka last name isikuwe dad.
Amen.
So tupatie kwenye we can reach Dr. Besh. Kwa wenye tuko serious, alafu kwa wenye hatuko serious, wenye tunataka kujaribu doctorate, utuambie kwenye tutaenda DM.
Kwenye tutaenda. Yeah, so nacheka because mimi na social media. But anyway, I was on social media.
Which actually by your work you should be very active on social media.
I know, but it's a personal preference. It has nothing to. I think nilichoka na social media. Si kwa ubaya. I was on social media.
Information yetu unatuchapa pale ka Instagram.
I know. Sinanga Instagram.
Guy, nitakufungulia.
Nilikuwa Twitter, but now it's X.
Yes.
So your account, I think hata siwezi kumbuka.
Okay.
But I do. Okay, I have Facebook. And I'm back on Facebook right now.
Okay.
Na saa zingine naendanga tunakosana na Facebook. Kukosana ila tu naboeka, I deactivate my account. It's a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
But I'm Besh on Facebook.
Yes.
So use that. It's
okay.
open. Like I check my messages, like naingianga once in a while.
Okay.
And then we can connect. Then okay, reach out Apo and we need more connections. Then I'm happy to give an email and phone number at that time. But I promise Facebook sai iko and it's open. Just look for me, Besh Toi. TOI is the last name that I use on social media.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming. Thank you for giving us those information. Nimelana a lot. Lakini umetravel. Unafanya nifikie kuwa doctor. Utabidi travel.
But could travel, you don't have to be a doctor to travel.
Unajua kuna privileges.
Yeah, kuna privileges, but travel is therapy. Like I travel, yes, for work, but I also travel for myself.
For fun.
For fun.
Yeah.
As a solo traveler. So it's, I just love interacting with new cultures, new people.
Yes.
Chasing waterfalls. So
amazing.
Yeah, if anybody wants to start the traveling journey, and don't wait for people.
Yes, do it yourself.
Just do it afraid. Like
the
first time I took a solo trip, I went to Canada.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's close enough to Seattle.
Yes. So, it's like 2 hours, right?
Kitu kikienda vibaya, I can quickly hop back the border and back.
Yeah.
But that's how I tested the waters of solo travel, like international solo travels. Nienda Canada. Because I was like, hapa ni karibu 2 hours.
Uko ndani.
Flight near 30, 45 minutes in Darudi. Anything should happen.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. But it challenged me because I am an introvert. So I had to...
You're an introvert?
Yes.
Besh, tumalize hii show.
Twende home.
Wewe ni introvert? Wewe Besh, unaona venye ule advisor alikwambia go search yourself.
I need to go search myself. Unanipea homework na nilimaliza shule.
You are not an introvert. It's funny. I had a pharmacist here, she was like, she's an introvert. Na sasa wewe uko introvert?
I think so. Like it takes me a while to like warm up to new places.
When gari ya diesel, lazima
mtupea time.
Si tunataka ivika.
Mtupea time to zoe.
Okay.
But now with having to travel by myself, then that's one way I challenge myself. Niko peke yangu.
Yeah.
Siko na mtu hadi tunaongea napanga kenye ndafanya ni mimi napanga.
Nitakuwa nakupigia
simu. And then
simu.
I have to interact with the community,
Yes.
the local people that I meet.
Yes.
And that also pushes me out to go and say hi to people and
True.
learn about their culture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa, nitakuwa nakupigia simu wachage kuwa solo dolo.
I mean, so long as, mwenye anataka kuni DM ako na passport.
Hey, if you have a passport, DM Besh toi hapo
Our
hivyo.
first date is going to be out of the country.
Oh, hey.
Keto inoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Besh, for coming here. Hey, Dr. Besh, first days out of country, guy. Hey. Dr. Besh, thank you so much for coming. We've had fun. If you have a passport out there, yeah, make sure you DM her and you know the first day is gonna be out of the country. So get your things right. This was Chatroom 101, Maze. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Mbona una watch? Why are you watching and not subscribing? Maze, it's free. Just click that kanini subscribe and I know, and share with your friends, And so without further ado, till next time, we out. Peace.